Hey guys, Mrs. Floyd here. So a couple of weeks ago, I sent out a Google form about different things you would like to hear about in these videos and or advice that you would like to get and that I would answer those things anonymously. So I'm choosing one of those topics from what you guys have sent to me because it was brought up a lot, and that is how to stop bottling up my emotions, and to stop feeling guilty about not bottling them up. So we're going to talk about that, and I have a lot of info, so I want to get through it as quickly as I possibly can. So I want you to raise your hand if someone has ever asked you how you are, and your response, even if it wasn't true, was, "I'm fine," even if you weren't fine. Well, I think that's a human reaction, human response. We all have done that in different moments. So today, I just want to talk about how to stop bottling our emotions. Bottling our emotions doesn't mean that we just sit and cry and don't say anything. We might have said something like this if we might be bottling emotions, saying, "I don't care," when we actually do, getting mad over really small stuff, shutting down or just going really quiet, or laughing things off when they actually really do hurt. So none of these things mean that we're weak, bottling our emotions or saying any of those things, "I don't care," getting mad, whatever. None of that means that we're weak. It just means that our feelings eventually are going to look for a way out. So I have this bottle here. I want you to imagine putting every emotion or feeling that you don't talk about in this bottle. And so that may be anxiety, depression, anger, rage, insecurity, inadequacy, feeling unlovable or not good enough, or um, worried or nervous or jealous or grief. Putting them all in this bottle when we don't talk about it. We carry this bottle with us every day. Imagine there's soda or something in this bottle. We carry this full of emotions every day, and it's shaking all around, full of emotions. What's going to eventually happen? It's going to explode, or the lid's going to pop off. And so things are going to leak out, or it's going to explode or burst. So bottling our emotions are very similar to that. We have different situations. We feel something about it. We don't discuss it. We don't talk about it. We don't process it. It just sits there. And then something else we experience happens that brings up some kind of emotion in us. We don't talk about it or address it. It sits on top of that other one, and we just keep layering. And so then we have this, we're full up to here with emotions, and eventually it's going to come out somehow, whether through an angry outburst or through depression or something. So let's be honest, sharing feelings is really hard. And I want you to finish the statement quietly to yourself. Sharing feelings is hard because, and finish that statement for yourself. Why is it hard for you to share your emotions and your feelings? So some people might say, "I'm afraid people are going to judge me," or "I don't want to be annoying," or "I don't want to be a burden to anybody." Or maybe it's, "I don't know what I'm feeling," or "I don't know how to explain it," or "I just don't want to cry or be a blubber face when I'm talking with somebody about it." And all of those are really valid, but you don't have to share everything with everyone, and you don't have to share it perfectly. That's super important to remember. I always tell people in my therapy sessions that sometimes we may not know exactly what we're feeling. We may not know what to say, but we just have to talk. We have to try and talk about it. And over time, as we're talking about it and through questions that the therapist asks, we start to recognize, or we start to understand what it is that we're feeling and why. But first, we have to do the process of it, which is talking. So these are some steps that you can use to stop bottling up your emotions. The first one is to name it. Name the emotion or emotions that you're feeling. Now, I have in my office, if you would like one, you can always come and ask. I have a list of feeling words that I encourage people to look at in my therapy sessions, because a lot of times everybody likes to throw what they're feeling as anxiety or depression or anger. But if we break those words down, there's a lot of other feelings that are under anxiety, anger, and depression. And it's important to get to those things that are under those. Not everything is anxiety. Not everything is depression. Not everything is anger. And so it's important for us to kind of figure out exactly what it is that we're feeling and name it and identify it. Step 2 is to choose a safe person to talk to. We shouldn't go and talk to just anybody about how we're feeling. We need to go to someone that we trust, that we know that will keep it confidential and to themselves. And so safe people can be a therapist or a counselor, a friend, a teacher or a coach or a parent, or an aunt or an uncle. It can be any of those people. So choosing a safe person is super important. Step 3, using a starter sentence such as, can I say something without getting any advice? Or, I really don't know how to explain this or how I'm feeling, and try and explain. I've been holding on to this for a while. Can I share with you what I'm thinking or feeling? Or, this might sound really dumb or silly, but it's really been bothering me. And then explain. And that's it. That's all you have to do to share. It doesn't have to be really complicated. You don't need a speech. Just try one of those things. Can I say something without getting any advice? I've really been thinking about something that's been bothering me. Can I share it? I don't know how to explain it. Will you bear with me? The next thing is, I think being able to take some time for yourself. We can't do any of these steps unless you're pausing, stopping the busyness of life to sit down and reflect and figure out and name what you're feeling. Have a conversation with someone. We got to slow life down sometimes and take care of ourselves. And if we're constantly busy, sometimes we're not giving ourselves time to really catch up to maybe some emotions and feelings that we're having. Now, I know a lot of people feel guilty sharing about their feelings. The more you share, or the more times you practice with someone you really trust, sharing how you're feeling, eventually that guilt goes away. But if you're not used to doing something, then sometimes right off the bat, at the beginning, you might feel uncomfortable and it might feel really awkward and you might feel guilty. But just trust me, those things will fade and pass away the more that you do it. And it gets a little bit more comfortable. I don't know if it ever gets super comfortable, but it will gradually get a little easier to talk about your emotions and feelings to the right people. So bottling up emotions doesn't make us strong, and bottling up emotions doesn't mean that we're weak, but knowing when and how to share is empowering, and it gives you a certain amount of strength and confidence when you do that. So before the weekends, I want you to unbottle one feeling with a safe person in one small way. And even saying, I'm not okay today. I'm just not okay today. That actually counts as sharing a feeling this week. So I want you guys to know you don't have to carry everything alone. There's lots of adults in this building that care about you and that you can trust and that are safe people to talk to. I would love to talk to you. So if you ever want to unload some of those feelings, feel free to come and talk to me. Bye, guys. Thank you. And maybe as a class, talk about what makes it hard for you to share your feelings with people. Thank you. Bye.